We're so excited to be able to see so many friends, so many Rhode Islanders here at the State House to advocate on such an important issue that will have an impact if we all have an undercount in the 2020 census. I'm here with my co-chair, Dr. Alexander Scott, her and I will be the MCs for this rally. Thank you, Dr. Alexander Scott.
Hello. This is such an important topic. I'm honored to be here with Mayor Elorza, bringing awareness to the fact that more than $3.5 billion comes into Rhode Island annually through 55 federal programs that gets data from the census. So everyone here is impacted by making sure that every Rhode Islander gets to count. Programs include Medicaid, SNAP, WIC, unemployment insurance, and our school lunch program. The funding that supports these programs we know is extremely important, $3.5 billion. But ultimately, it's more than just dollars and cents. It's about sending a message so that every single Rhode Islander is part of this great state. The clock is ticking now. Yesterday, we were officially 1 year out from the start of counting for the 2020 census. We have a lot of work to do, but our incredible Complete Count Committee team is absolutely up to the task. And I also believe we are up to the task because we have some tremendous allies who are just as committed to making sure that everyone is counted. Many of these allies are here with us today, and we are excited. And so with that, it's my honor to welcome Chairman Anastasia Williams and is our House Majority Leader, Shekarchi here. There he is. We're going to hear from both of them to get us started. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
The train is moving.
It's moving. I didn't want it to leave me. Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, I thought my voice. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Hep, hep.
Good afternoon.
Come on, come on. This is something that we are supposed to be working together on. Hep, hep. Hep, hep. There you go. It's kind of weak, but we got to get it together now. Thank you all for being here today. Every single Rhode Islander needs to be counted. Having an accurate census count is vital to our state. Whew.
What about the 45 missing DCYF kids? I've emailed every state rep, nobody cares about the missing kids.
I understand that. I'm on that too, trust me.
We need to.
Trust me. Without knowing the true amount of the people living in our state, we are at terrible risk to lose billions of dollars in federal funding. And losing critical dollars would have a devastating effect on the people of our state and the state's ability to continue to provide so many different services that our population relies upon on a daily basis. Schools, roads, health care, public safety are all of important areas of life and are significantly tied to an accurate census count. We are here today to bust through these underhanded political manipulations to deliver this message loud and clear. There is nothing to fear by participating in the census. The only trouble that will arise from the census is if it's ignored. We will lose money. We will lose our one congressional seat, severely limiting our representation in Washington, D.C. So this rally is the first step. And I have no doubt in my mind that everyone here has already answered the call and will spread out into communities to ensure that Rhode Island has a full and accurate census count. Once again, we have too much to lose, but I am confident that these dire scenarios can be avoided if we all work together and embrace the 2020 census. Thank you, and let's get to work.
Thank you, Chairwoman Anastasia Williams. Thank you, Stash, as always. Great job. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for showing up today to help bring awareness to the critical need. Everyone needs to respond to the census. Why? Because it's in your interest. Stakes are extremely high here in Rhode Island. We are at the risk of losing a congressional seat. That means our voting power in the House will be cut in half. That means redistricting for the General Assembly regarding an undercount. It means a lower population count. It means a reduction in approximately $3.1 billion in federal aid per year. Think about that. $3 billion. That's 30% of our state budget. The risk in Rhode Island is further heightened by how much of our population, approximately 25%, is considered hard to count by the census. The political climate and citizenship questions are likely to make many immigrant households less likely to respond. This cannot happen. We cannot let Rhode Island go uncounted. We have too much to lose. Everyone here and everyone around must get the word out. Start the conversation about it, share information, use social media, use word of mouth. Ask advocates to generate a buzz. Ask agencies to talk to their clients. Keep pressing the message to every single person needs to be counted. Responding is in your best interest because it will help the state get federal funding we can count on. Responding is the best way to keep Rhode Island from having its political representation in the U.S. cut in half, and it's the way to ensure that our neighborhood will get its fair share of power in Washington, but most importantly, our fair share of federal funding. Thank you all. Keep up the good work. Let's get counted. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I also want to recognize Nisa from Senator Whitehouse office, Jacob on behalf of Cicilline's office, Aaron on behalf of Jack Reed's office, and Julio from Congressman Langevin's office. Thank you very much for joining us today. I'd like to pass the mic now to Senate Majority Leader McCaffrey and Senator Sandra Cano for a few words.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. Let's get counted, right? So today we're celebrating Day of Action, the Census Day in Rhode Island, and that's why you're here, and I want to say thank you so much for showing up for this important day. A year from yesterday, we'll have Census Day. So it is crucial that we identify this day as an important day, and we let all Rhode Islanders know that we need to be counted because we have a lot to lose. The Rhode Island Complete Count Committee has identified that it will cost Rhode Island $1.2 million to make sure that all our members of the community get counted. Again, $1.2 million. Out of those $2 million, the governor has put in the budget, and I want to say thank you to the governor for appropriating $150,000 in the budget, which we as a state recognize that we need a little more. So the governor has recommended this money, but I think that the Completely Count Committee had made sure to increase that amount so the state funded will be $350,000 more So we're asking for $500,000 as an investment from the state to make sure that everybody gets counted in Rhode Island. I also would like to let you know that this is a collaboration of effort. We have many people that have been in the table, and I want to say that the Rhode Island Foundation has come already forward to appropriate in their funding $250,000. We need to do more. So what does that mean? That we need to get private foundations, private funders to get us to that $700,000, right? $250,000 has been appropriated from the Rhode Island Foundation. They have a fund just appropriated for census outreach, but we need to do more. Together we can accomplish that. I just want to leave you by saying 24% of Rhode Islanders are categorized as hard to count by the Census Bureau. 24% of Rhode Islanders are in hard to count communities, and we need to make sure we'll get to them. Also, I do believe that it's important to understand that the political climate and the addition of the citizenship question on the census are sowing the seed of confusion, and research suggests that the undocumented households and mixed status households are likely less to respond. So we need to do a good job. I am a citizen of the United States, and I am not required to answer that question. So my job is to make sure that my fellow immigrants feel comfortable to do that. That question needs to be just leave alone. That is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave it alone. And I wanna make sure everybody feels comfortable to fill out this formulary so we can all be counted in Rhode Island. So let's get to work. We have a lot to do. I just wanna say thank you to both the House and Senate leadership for making sure that you have this in your top priorities for this year. I wanna say that we has been a great collaboration already, and we look forward to continue working together. I also want to highlight the leadership of Chairwoman, our Rep. Williams. Thank you so much for your leadership on the House for this. Let's get to work and let's get counted.
Thank you, Senator. It's certainly an honor and a pleasure to bring greetings from the Senate this afternoon. But before I proceed, I do see Senator Lawson here this afternoon. This issue is critical to our state, and we must do whatever we can do to encourage people to be counted. The message today when you leave here is be counted, be counted, be counted. It's important, it's safe, and it's easy. Full participation is critical for our community. We hear that it's about congressional districts, but it's a lot more than about congressional districts. There's billions of dollars to the state of Rhode Island that if we don't count everyone, we're going to miss out on. So there's a lot at stake in the 2020 census. Ultimately, this census determines how this money is allocated, and it goes to programs like Head Start, Title I education grants, and others. The census impacts for funded is astronomical in the state of Rhode Island. It goes for emergency food banks, for shelters, for programs for the elderlies, and the list goes on. Participation in the census is safe, and most importantly, it's confidential and strictly confidential. Personal information that you provide cannot be shared with any governmental agency. Not even the President of the United States can access the information that's provided by individuals in census. Finally, it's easier than ever to participate. You can do it online, by phone, or by mail. We're fortunate in the state of Rhode Island to have the leadership of Dr. Scott, as well as Mayor Diosis, and also the Senate leader, Senator Cano, and the House leader, Senator Williams, because they brought this issue to the forefront so that we know it's out there, and they're out working hard daily on this issue. It's important that we have the counts that we need, so participate. And when you leave here today, spread the word to be counted, be counted, be counted. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you, leader.
Thank you, Senator McCaffrey. We're so honored to have so many legislative and elected official champions here I want to introduce our Lieutenant Governor. Say a few words.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I would just say this. There's 39 cities and towns in the state of Rhode Island, and around the state, as a Lieutenant Governor, I say each and every one matters. So this is the time to actually matter. So I'll be working with Mayor Elorza to make sure we get that information to all the executives in every municipality, because it's in their best interest, as well as the state, to get the right count in their communities, because that matters to them as well. So I know that when I was in D.C. last week, I was with Marie. We're talking about making the Portuguese count. We're going to make the Portuguese count, the Hispanic count, the Irish count, the French count. Every single person needs to get out and make sure that they participate. And I thank the leadership here that's making this happen today, and thank you for the opportunity to talk, because I know it's important. We want to make sure that everybody in our families and in our communities know it's important. Let's get out there and make sure we're counted.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. We have so many important voices to hear from today. I want to introduce Secretary of State Gorbea.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chairwoman Alexander Scott. And thank you, Chairman Elorza, for ably leading this effort to make sure Rhode Islanders are counted in the 2020 census. My Deputy Secretary of State, Melissa Husband, who serves with you, has been telling me what a great start we're off to, thanks to your tireless efforts and getting the job done. And so, as your Secretary of State, I want to make sure that government works for the people. That's something we all expect and deserve in a democracy. So today, I say to Rhode Islanders, you play a critical role in that accountability by being counted in the United States Census. This is more than just a head count. This is more than just something that happens every 10 years. An accurate census is vital. It's key to making sure that, one, your government represents you, and two, that we get our fair share of federal resources. Now, in this country, we have a representative democracy. We use the census to make sure that you're represented equally, whether you live in Charlestown or Woonsocket, whether you live in Rhode Island or Florida. The census count is used to determine how many voices we get in Washington and in the House of Representatives. The second piece of this, we've heard already, has to do with federal resources. The census is used for how much money we get from the federal government. So what this means is that everyone benefits in Rhode Island from an accurate count. Every business owner, every student, every person looking for a job, every person on Medicare or Medicaid, everyone benefits from a complete and accurate count. Y ahora, unas palabras para mi gente hispana. Es de suma importancia que toda nuestra gente participe en el censo. Yo sé que hay muchos que están preocupados por las políticas y actitudes que estamos viviendo, pero no podemos dejar que el miedo o la dejadez nos domine. La Constitución de Estados Unidos requiere que todos seamos contados. Tenemos que llenar el censo para hacernos contar y asegurar un mejor futuro para nuestros hijos y para nuestras familias. Hágase contar en el censo del 2020. Ayúdenos motivando a sus amigos y familiares a participar en el censo en 2020. Cuento con todos ustedes. Again, thank you for the Rhode Island Complete Count Committee and the Governor to make sure that every Rhode Islander is counted in the census. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary Gorbea. We love your leadership and for helping to make sure that everyone is counted. Next, we want to introduce our treasurer, Seth Magaziner.
Hello, everyone. I want to thank Dr. Nicole Alexander Scott, Mayor Elorza, for their leadership and everyone on the Complete Count Committee. In the treasurer's office, we know a few things about counting. And in Rhode Island, every person counts, and that means every person must be counted. About 1/3 of our state budget comes from federal funding that is tied to the census. That's $3 billion. So that's what this is about. If you want more funding for schools, for better health care, for better roads and bridges, for better parks, for tax relief, we need a complete count. So, I look forward over the next year to joining all of you, getting the word out that every Rhode Islander counts, every Rhode Islander must be counted. We're doing this for our political influence, we're doing this for funding, but we are doing this for a principle that in this state, everyone who is here matters. All Rhode Islanders count. Let's have a complete count. Thank you very much, everyone, for your work. This is going to be a great campaign.
I also want to recognize Senate President Dominic Ruggiero for being here. And I know that Senator Murray and Valverde were here too, so thank you so much. I'd like to call on the Attorney General, Peter Nerona, to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank the chairs, as we've already done, but I want to thank them again. This has been really great under their leadership. Thanks to all of you and all the other elected officials. You know now, if you didn't know already, why this is important. It's about congressional representation. It's dollars coming to Rhode Island. When I think about this, I think about Election Day. We talk on Election Day how important it is to vote, that every vote counts on Election Day. And this is another example just like that. Even more so in some ways, because in this instance, every single vote counts. It's not a matter of winning by 10 votes or 20 votes or 30 votes or by 100 votes. Every single vote here counts. Every number counts. Everybody who's counted counts against a number somewhere else. So it's really important that we all get counted in this state. It's really important. I'm Portuguese. I got my Portuguese get counted button. Get your buttons from whoever you are, but get counted. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Attorney General. So we're continuing on. We want to introduce some of the leaders who work with us on the Complete Count Committee, working hard to help make sure that we get this message out to every community in Rhode Island so that everyone is counted and feels valued and their voices heard and welcome. So I'd like to introduce Shonda Womack and Marcella Betancourt.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Shonda and I are really excited to be part of the, thank you. We are very excited to be part of the committee and to chair the Hard to Count group. It is the responsibility of every single person here today, of every legislator, of every municipal and state leader, as well as every single advocate and community person to ensure that every single person, no matter what language they speak, no matter their ethnicity, no matter their age, no matter their capabilities, that they are counted in the 2020 census. The impact that it will have can cost us not only money, but resources in the impact that we will have in our country. Thank you.
Shonda Womack here. I want to just make sure that everyone can hear me because we have 3 minutes. So the other goal that our Hard to Count committee is working on is just not counting everyone, but really empowering and building capacity so that when the 2030 census comes, we're ready. We're ready and we're being proactive and not being reactive. Understand that 24% of the population is hard to count communities. So we're talking about blacks, the Latinx community, we're talking about the Asian community, okay? Also, the undercounted population makes over half of the Rhode Island population. We're talking about over 500,000 people. So let's make it count, folks. We need all hands on deck because everybody needs to be able to participate in the democratic process without their civil liberties being threatened. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. I call on my good friend George Meade to also offer a few remarks.
Thank you. On behalf of the Rhode Island AFL-CIO, we're very proud to be part of this effort. I want to thank Dr. Scott and Mayor Diosa for their tremendous leadership in this. I also like to recognize Pat Crowley from the NEARI, who is serving on this commission representing labor. I think the key thing for all of us to realize is that we very rarely get an opportunity where destiny is put in our hands. This is our opportunity. It's our opportunity to fail or succeed, and we are going to succeed because of all the good people here and all the good groups that understand the importance of this. This is a very small increase in the state budget with a tremendous possibility for a return on investment that will benefit everybody in the state of Rhode Island. So let's seize this opportunity and let's count everybody and let's get the job done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. On behalf of myself and Mayor Diosa, I want to thank you all for being here, for understanding the importance of getting counted. I want to give Mayor Diosa an opportunity to say things as well. We want you to all be heard, and you've heard the reasons why. So thank you, everyone. We have a lot of work to do.
Thank you, Dr. Alexander Scott, and I want to recognize Senator Quesada. Again, this is crucial information for the future of our state, and is why we will now share this information with all the legislators, and hopefully we can pass this on to all of our residents and make your voices be heard as we go testify on the House committee and the Senate committee, so that they understand the importance of every dollar invested into the census, we get a larger return back. So thank you everyone for joining us. Let's give everyone a round of applause. Let's get to work.